with my phone right here, and all I want you to do is you're gonna put your big toe on the edge of the phone and try to get your knee to the upright with your heel staying on the ground. Beautiful. When this stays flat and the knee touches the pole, we're good. Okay, at 5.5 inches. Let's see the other side. 5.5 is the men's range, 4.5 is the ladies' range. That's all in the video for you to watch too. Good, that's great. That looks full too. So I think your ankles moving out might just be habit. So it's something that if you're comfortable doing that and you feel like your squat is good.
I don't even feel it, to be honest.
Right.
I saw it in a video.
But so that's what I'm saying. Your ankle's turning out like this, may be something that you can train away and then pick up an extra 5-6% strength on without it getting any stronger. Cool. Do you follow?
Yeah.
Don't go crazy. Try it for 4 or 5 weeks. We'll talk to Andrew, your coach, about trying to build it out for you. And if we can do it, great. If it doesn't change anything, you made the CrossFit Games with your feet like that. So I think you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. So that's the lower body movement assessment. Pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
The idea, the take-home message for you there is if any of these tests were limited, it tells us, like if your ankle test was limited and you squatted like this, well then maybe the ankle is part of the reason for the squat. But I'm sure you've seen it before. Athletes have the squats that look like this and everybody just assumes it was their ankle, right? So they start doing banded distraction and angled stuff. If you have full range of motion in the ankle, that's not what's causing it. Now you're wasting your time.
Okay.
Follow?
Yeah.
So far, so good?
Yep.
You picking up what I'm putting down? All right. So the next test we're gonna do is what's called shoulder abduction test. So I'll demonstrate it, then you're gonna do it.
Yep.
Hopefully you look better than me doing it. So all we do is we're gonna stand, I'm gonna stand behind you. You're gonna bring both of your arms, thumbs up, elbows extended, try to bring your arms to your ears. Don't laugh at me. So I just want to watch how you move. Not total disaster, it's just my shoulders. So let's have you, I guess I can watch from back here. Go ahead. Can you go further than that? Beautiful. Can you shrug your shoulders down? Look at that. So that's awesome. That's how we want it to look. What we're looking for here is daylight in here, arms touching the ears, and we're good to go. Cool? Now I'm gonna come from the side. I wanna make sure you're covering your ear or behind your ear. Then I'm gonna come to the other side and make sure of the same thing, and that's beautiful. You can bring them down. What a lot of coaches will look for, not comfortable. All right, got you. What a lot of coaches will see there and be worried about is bring them back up for me again. So they start to see this, right? They start to see kind of a little bit of a lean back, and they start to think, oh, well, ribs down. But ribs externally rotating is actually the last thing that happens in shoulder flexion. So if the ribs didn't do that, it would be a problem. We don't want to cue ribs down. Follow?
Yeah.
So shoulder abduction is full. If that was limited, things like clean and jerks, maybe you wouldn't like. Pull-ups and muscle-ups, depending on how wide your grip is, you might do muscle-ups on the rings and feel better than a muscle-up with the same grip on a pull-up bar.
I'm okay with it.
You, because you're full. Yeah. Somebody else, one of your members. Kettlebell swings, people who will do this, right? Because this isn't comfortable for them, like me. Let's get you on your back. I'm gonna have you go ahead with your knees bent, it's fine. Bent or straight, doesn't matter. The hips, for this test, the hips will not affect the shoulder range of motion enough to make it relevant. All we're gonna do is from here, bring your left arm with your elbow straight up over your head. So I'm gonna have you start right next to your hip. And come, yeah, there you go, come straight up. What I'm looking for here is, does your finger touch the floor? Is your elbow straight? Can I get my hand underneath your shoulder blade? These are yeses, this is no, so that's good. Let's see the other side, bring this one down. So if you're watching this on camera, you'll see that the ribs came up a little bit, and that's okay. The ribs are going to do that. That's what we're talking about is full range of motion. Can you pop your ribs up a little bit more? That is what we wouldn't want to see. So show them one more time, bring it back down to flat. So this is normal, despite the fact that we see his ribs coming up. That is normal. Now, show them what it would look like if it was normal. That little subtle difference. Now I can get my hand underneath the shoulder blades. That is a limited test. The other one was totally full. Bring it back down, and now let's do both arms at the same time. Beautiful. So the reason we do one, then the other, and then both is because, let's say, for example, one arm can get there and the other arm can get there. And then when we do them together, the range of motion is limited. It tells us that it's not a shoulder problem. Both shoulders function just fine on their own. It's a thoracic spine problem.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, next test. Going back to the upright. Bringing my phone back out. We're going to test the wrist. So often people go into a front rack and their shoulders feel tight, right? If your wrists don't go through full range of motion to put a bar in the front rack, what happens is, imagine holding a bar like this and having to get your hand underneath it. You need all of this. So your shoulders do feel tight. Then you go do all this extra work on your shoulders, make your shoulders looser, make your shoulders looser, make your shoulders looser. But it was never a shoulder problem in the first place. So you're actually making your issue worse. It was a wrist problem.
Yeah.
So this is how we test for the wrist range of motion first.
Yep.
Cool?
Yep.
Let's see it. So, I didn't show you what to do. So all we do here, you're gonna line yourself up with your longest finger up against the edge of the phone. Remember, 5.5 inches for men, 4.5 for ladies.
Yep.
You're gonna turn your elbow pit forward, right? So this is your elbow pit.
Yep.
Turn it forward.
Okay.
And then from there, all you're gonna do is try to bring, I can't do it. You're gonna try to bring this part of your shoulder, the sticky part that pops out, to the rig. Keeping that elbow pit forward. As soon as the elbow pit rotates, we've lost it. Whew. Haven't done a lot of front rack.
So like this.
Yeah, so elbow pit forward. Good. And now just go ahead, rock your body forward. So move over just a little. There we go. Good. And he's got it. So let's see the other side. Huh?
Like this,
Yep. Beautiful. Okay, stay there for one moment. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, you can come on out. So you have full range of motion, but you're really, really close to not having it.
Yeah.
You feel that.
Yeah. It's really tough.
And when you do things like front rack, does it bother you at all?
No.
Okay, handstand push-ups bother you at all?
No, I have on the right side, I have a discomfort since like 2016 when I went to regionals. We had a lot of overhead squats with 100 kilos,
Okay.
a lot of handstand walks, so I practiced a lot of that and started to hurt after
Okay.
that.
So I don't think that and what I'm gonna tell you right now are related, but when your fingers, do that again, I'll show you what I saw. Let's bring it in nice and tight. Watch those fingertips. See how they're turning white? When your fingertips turn white, what it tells me is that all the pressure is here right now, right?
Yeah.
You should have more range of motion where I would be able to take your fingers and easily and comfortably pull them off of the ground. But you don't. Right? So full range of motion for the wrist is not full range of motion for the fingers, which means that you should still have some range left in the fingers, but you don't. So what that says to me is that over time, if you're not careful, your fingers are going to get tighter and tighter and tighter, and that's going to limit your wrist range of motion. So we need to start doing things like getting a bucket of rice and strengthening the backside of your hand.
Okay.
Opening your hand, not grip.
Yeah, I have those things that you put on your feet.
Perfect, just do it,
Okay, cool.
okay? That was a full movement assessment.
Yeah.
Simple, easy, right? If I wanted to take you through it, what I would like to do is take you through it one more time and just show you how fast it can be done if you know what you're looking for. Cool?
Yeah.
So let's have you stand up. Let's go through the whole movement assessment. So what we're